there everybody, it's Mark Crowley. I'm back with another video. Now those of you who've watched my videos for a number of years, you know that I love to use this pencil, the Dixon Ticonderoga. Well, this is a very special day because a very kind woman at the Dixon Ticonderoga company by the name of Christina got in touch and offered to mail me complimentary art supplies, all these wonderful markers, these ink pens, and not only that, but check this out. This has got me kind of nerding out. This is something like a lifetime supply of Dixon Ticonderoga pencils. That's not available in any store. And they sent me a lovely sketch pad that I'm looking forward to using. But I thought, as a way of thanking them for this, that I would do an illustration today that is a Dixon Ticonderoga Chibi character. So I've got all the pencil lines in place, and I'm going to be using some of these markers that they sent to me to begin adding color. Alright, so let's get into this. I'm going to begin by adding a little bit of color using the Lyra brand markers. They got the brush tips, and my idea, because this is a Dixon Ticonderoga Chibi character, I'm going to make all of her clothing have the same colors as that classic Dixon Ticonderoga pencil. And I can't do this all real time because it would just make for too long a video, but I can give you a few little tips here about adding color with markers to a pencil drawing. One of the key things you have to remember is to get that pencil line quite light. You don't want thick, dark pencil lines because the marker will blend with that. And maybe blend is too kind of a word. It'll start to sort of smear it around in ways that you don't really want if you want a nice clean drawing. So you can see that I'm starting with very lightly penciled lines, and that allows me to marker right on top of it without it, smearing too much or giving me any problems in that regard. Notice also that I chose to start with the yellow, which is one of the lightest colors, and that is a great way of doing these things when you're adding color to an illustration, starting with the lightest colors and working your way up towards the darker colors. There's a logic to that it's easy for a light color to get covered over by a dark color. If you start with a dark color, it's very hard to go on top of that with lighter colors. It just doesn't work. So those are my two little tips relating to this first part of the drawing. I'm going to go ahead and kick it into time lapse. I'm going to finish adding all of the yellow, maybe some of the skin tones, other lighter colors, and then I'll show you how I work my way towards the darkest color, which in this case is going to be that classic Dixon Ticonderoga dark green. Alright, so we've nearly got the coloring done, and I just wanted to stop and say how pleased I am with these markers and the way they work. One thing that I really love is when you can go on top with the same marker and get darker areas with a second layer, and you can see I'm definitely able to do that here with this hair, and in a way, to me, that almost feels like getting two colors out of a single brush, a darker version of the brown and then a lighter version. Very helpful, and yeah, it's real nice and smooth the way the ink comes out of the pen. But like I said, I decided to wait until the end to add the darkest of these colors, which is this classic dark green. And I think you can see what my idea was, my concept with this whole thing was to create a chibi character whose clothing emulates this classic Dixon Ticonderoga color scheme that you see on the actual pencils. But I would say that when you have a dark marker color like this, you definitely want to be putting this on last. If I had put this down first and then I was going right up against it with the yellow, inevitably that yellow is going to start to pick up some of that green, and it's going to smear together, and you just don't really want that. So an experienced artist knows to start with the lighter colors, work your way towards the darker ones. Well, again, I'm going to kick this into time lapse just to finish this up. I might add a little bit of shading to the clothing before I come back and start adding ink lines to get close to the finished product of this illustration. Alright, so you can see I pretty much got all the different marker colors in there that I needed to, and it is time to add some ink. Now what I did here, you notice that this was kind of never moving the whole time that I was adding the color. When it comes time to inking, I need to be able to spin it around to get the sort of optimal pivot point of my wrist. So I'm going to start adding a little bit of the ink lines with this, here I'll show you what it called. They called it the Graduate Manga Pen by Lyra. And this is the 08. Those of you who know my videos, you know that I have used a Micron Pigma a lot over the years. This is very comparable, I gotta say, and it feels very natural to me just using this in place of that. And of course the advantage of both of them is that it's a nice water resistant ink line that you don't have to worry about it getting ruined if a little bit of water falls on it. But you can see, and I've talked about this in other videos that relate to inking, that when I add ink, I very often will do it at the end of the process instead of the beginning. Again, it helps to avoid any smearing issues that might happen with the marker and you know, just your hand going on top of it and that sort of thing. So I wait until the end. And also it allows me to decide whether or not I want to add lines, like this whole thing where the green and the yellow on her sort of eraser hat thing. I don't think these need to be outlined at all, so I'm just going to leave that as the color doing the line work for me. But that's about all I need to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and finish up all the inking in time lapse, and at the very end I might add one last little touch that is not among the different art supplies that was mailed to me. I wonder if any of you can guess what it is. But let's go ahead and finish off the inking process in time lapse, and I'll be back to add that one final touch. Alright, so we're nearly done here, but of course I can't be finished until I use my beloved white gouache. As I mentioned a second ago, the one material that I'm just pulling from my own private supplies. I suppose they do make a white gouache of some kind if I had requested it, but we're just relying on the type that I always use, and I find adding these little highlights at the end of the process can make a very big difference in terms of just giving it that last little bit of polish and giving you that sense of light falling upon the object. Like you know that if this was made out of metal, this sort of hat that she's wearing, it would be getting a little bit of a shine there. And that's what this allows you to apply to it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off adding the beloved white gouache, and then I'll be back with a few final words. Alright, so there's my little Dixon Ticonderoga Chibi character. Of course, she can't be finished without the blushies. Seems like it's been a while since I added the blushies to complete an illustration, but I just wanted to say thank you one more time to Christina over there at the Dixon Ticonderoga Company. Very grateful for these complimentary art supplies that she sent my way, and I want to thank you for watching this video. I think it is time for me to lay down this pencil, not just any pencil, it's a Dixon Ticonderoga. I want to thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another one real soon.